The first thing you're going to do is create your account. If you use my affiliate link, this is where you'll land. If you go to bonjoro.com directly, this is where you'll land. We're going to click on Start Free Trial in the upper right-hand corner, and it'll take you here. And you'll be signing up with an email address. And an important note about the email address is use the email address that's associated with your custom domain. You can use a Gmail or a Hotmail or an Outlook account, but I would recommend using an email address associated with your custom domain. It'll look more professional. The custom domain that I'm currently using is aresmarketinggroup.com, and my email address is edgar@aresmarketinggroup.com. So when I created my Bonjoro account, that's the account that I used. And so when emails are sent out and received by your potential leads, your prospects, this is the email address that they'll see. In another video, in a post configuration video that I'll show you a little bit later, I'm going to show you how to integrate your custom domain with Bonjoro. So make sure that you create your account using your custom domain. This video is going to show you how to integrate Bonjoro with your GetResponse. So I've got some websites open. I've created my Bonjoro account, and I'm currently at the home page. I also went to Zapper.com and created my account. All you need is the free account. The free account will allow you to have 1,000 zaps per month. A zap is a unit of work. So that's all you need for now. Just create your account. After you create your account, you can log in, but you're not going to do anything directly inside Zapper. And I've also logged into GetResponse. The reason I'm logged into GetResponse is I'm going to be adding an email address to one of my lists manually. And I'm also going to need to get my API key so I can integrate GetResponse with Bonjoro. So we're going to start on Bonjoro. You'll notice on the top of the screen that we'll see these different tabs. The only tab that we're interested in right now is the automation tab. So we'll go there. We're going to be talking about the other tabs a little bit later. And you'll see on the left, add an automation, and down lower on the screen, you'll see add a zap. I'm going to go to add an automation, but what we want to do is not actually there. Bonjoro has a collection of built-in automations, and you can see that we have ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, Patreon, Shopify, and each one is very easy to configure. For example, if you have a Shopify store, if somebody makes a purchase, you can have Bonjoro notify you of that so you can send them a thank you video email. Or if you have a Patreon account and somebody decides to become a patron, you can go ahead and send them a thank you. But what we want is not here. So we're going to go back. Right now, Bonjoro does not have a built-in automation to integrate with GetResponse. So we have to go to the lower left-hand corner and look for that add a zap. So we're going to be using Bonjoro and Zapper to integrate with GetResponse. We're looking for this button that says, let's do it. We'll click on that. And here we are. And you can see it's taking you to the Zapper website. I'm going to scroll down, and I'm looking for this area right down here where it says search for apps to connect to Bonjoro. So I'll click there, and I'll type GetResponse. I'll choose GetResponse. Now I'm going to scroll down, and I'm looking for this area right here. We have to specify a trigger and an action. The trigger is going to initiate the action. So what's going to happen is that somebody's going to become a new contact. That's the initiating trigger. And when that occurs, we want to create a brand new Bonjoro. And a Bonjoro is nothing more than a notification on your Bonjoro dashboard that tells you that somebody signed up to your list and you want to send them that personalized video email. So we'll click on Connect. And if you look at the URL in the upper left-hand corner, you can see that you're on the Zappar website. Now we have to connect our account. So we're looking right here where it says Connect an Account. I'll click on that. And it's going to ask me to get my GetResponse API key. So I'll go to my GetResponse. And I'll go to the left-hand side of the screen and I'll choose Integrations and API. Over here on the left, I'll choose API. And I'll click on Copy. And I'm going to go back to my screen that's waiting for the API, and I'll just paste the API in, and I'll scroll down, and I'm looking for the Yes, Continue button. And I'll go back to the screen here. And I'll click on this test button that I see on the right-hand side of the screen. Awesome. I will click on Save and Continue on the right-hand side of the screen. Now I can choose my list. This is a good sign. You can see that it's looking at GetResponse. Now, before we go any further, one thing that I do want to mention to you when you're setting all this up, I'm going to go to my contacts, and I'm going to click on my list that I want to work with. I call it Aries AWOL Download. And you can see that I have at least one contact there. You're going to want to have at least one contact on this list. You'll see why shortly. If you don't have a contact on your list, if your list is empty, then in the upper left-hand corner where it says List, click. And then over here on the right-hand side of the screen, where it says Add Contact, click on Add Contact, and go ahead and manually add a contact. So you can choose your list, for example, the Aries AWOL Download. Type in your email address and your first name, then choose the checkbox that says I have permission to add this person to my list, and manually add the contact. You will need at least one contact on the list in order for you to do this next part. So I'll go back to my Zappar configuration screen, and I'll choose my list. There it is, Aries AWOL Download. And I'll click on Continue. And right here where it says Contact A, it's actually looking at that list and it's reading the very first contact that's there. And if I click on the down arrow, it shows me some information. I'm not sure that's very useful, but it's actually looking at the list. And I'll click on Continue, lower right-hand corner. So we're going to go to the left-hand side of the screen. And so we've configured the new contact. Now we're going to go tell it to create a Bonjoro. Before we go any further, let's go back up to the left-hand side of the screen. I want to go right up here. And it says Name Your Zap. So I'm going to go ahead and give this Zap a proper name. I'll call it GetResponse. New contact. Let's move back to the right-hand side of the screen. You can see it said creates a Bonjoro task. To complete it, record a video using the Bonjoro platform. We'll just click on Continue. And I'm going to click on Connect an Account. And I'll click on that. And it should automatically recognize my Bonjoro account because that's where we initiated the entire thing. And you can see it's connected. And I'll just click on test. And so now Zapper's talking to Bonjoro and Zapper's talking to GetResponse. I'll choose Save and Continue. And so right here on the screen where it says set up Bonjoro, this is the information that you want to see when you're creating your Bonjoro, which is your custom to-do list item inside Bonjoro. And so I mentioned earlier you want to have at least one email contact on the list, and this is why. So you can see it says email address required. We'll click on this hamburger right over here on the right. And what field do we want? Well, this is the email address, and you can see it's actually looking at the information that's on that list. The item that was there was Edgar, that's me, and so I'll choose that. Then I'll go over here and choose the first name, and I'll choose the field name. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just capturing an email address and a first name, and that's the information that I actually see. Here. So you have to have at least one contact on your list for this to work properly. So let's go back here. The last name is optional. Now, the reason is something that you're going to see. The end user is not going to see this. When the Bonjoro is created, you want to see on your dashboard what exactly the Bonjoro was created for. So you can go ahead and type in a reason, and this will give you, and this will tell you exactly what email you're creating, what message you're creating. So if you're using Bonjoro for people becoming a new contact, you might have a message you give to them. People register for a webinar, you give them a different message. People that make a purchase, you give them a different message. So if you have people doing different things in your funnel, you might want to create different messages. So that's the purpose of this reason. And I'll simply type internet Marketing Secrets request. So this lets me know they requested the Internet Marketing Secrets request PDF. So I know that they're a brand new prospect, and I know exactly what I need to say to them when I create the message. I'll click on continue, and you'll see where it shows up later when I show you how to create the message. And we're going to go ahead and test. So we're going to click on the lower right-hand corner. Make sure you scroll down so you can see this. It's going to send a test to Bonjoro. I'll click on Send Test. Awesome. I'll click on Finish. Your Bonjoro is, your zap is off. Let's turn the zap on. By turning the zap on, it's now going to continuously work. And you can see the message on the screen. While on, the zap will automatically check your GetResponse new contact every 5 minutes. So it's going to run continuously for 5 minutes. Excellent. Let's go back to Bonjoro. It's going to go to our brand new web page and navigate to and you can see that here's my test. Let's take a look at these other tabs. So the to-do list is where I go to create my messages. And in another video, I'll show you how to create the message. We can go to results. The purpose of the results dashboard is to show you the messages you've created and sent out and how the recipients are interacting with them. I'll go to design. Design is where you actually create the interface that the users will see when they receive the message. We'll go to automation. And you can see that we have down here on the bottom of the screen, we have one zap configured. I'll click it. And you can see that we have a says Zapper integration. I'm going to go to edit. And you can see right here it has a generic name, Zapper Integration. I'm going to go ahead and type in a proper name, GetResponse Integration. And so now, when I see this Zapper Integration, I click on it, it's got a proper name, and you can see right here it says GetResponse Integration as opposed to Zapper Integration. And you can create as many integrations as you want. Go back to automation. Let me take you back to Zapper so I can show you the interface. So let's go up here. When you log on to Zapper, you can explore the interface. But the tab that we're interested in is this tab called Zaps, and you can see that right here. Now it currently says no zaps. You can see in the middle of the screen. I'll just refresh the screen. And you can see that there's a zap right here. GetResponse New Contact. It's currently on, and you can see the icons for Bonjoro and GetResponse. You can browse around this interface if you want to. But that pretty much concludes how you configure Bonjoro and GetResponse to talk. In the next video, I'm going to show you around the Bonjoro interface. We'll talk about these different tabs. I'm also going to show you how you can configure Bonjoro to use your custom email domain. So I'll see you in the next video.